Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Wait, I didn't start my videos how I normally do. Hang on. Hey y'all, my name is Merritt. Welcome back to my channel. I think I should talk about books now. That's the point of this. Books. What am I reading? Nothing right now. Might read a new Christina Lauren book because it's a form of self-hatred. I talked about it in my wrap-up for July that I read 3 Christina Laurens and they all went vastly differently. They were very different. I don't think I'm a Christina Lauren girly, but I might read another one because the audiobooks are super short. They're like 7 hours. So maybe I'll do that. TTYL. Hey guys, I'm back. It's been a few days since we chatted, and to be honest, I don't know what I chatted to you about. Hopefully it was about books because that's what we're doing here, but I wanted to talk to y'all about the book that I started reading. I started The Honey Don't List against my better judgment. This is a Christina Lauren book that I was mentioning earlier. Also, I got my nails done. I just want to show you real quick. Look at them. Like little claws. The Honey Don't List. What is it about? This is kind of like a Chip and Joanna, if you know anything about that couple. It's about these two people who work for a Chip and Joanna like couple that actually have really big marital issues and they shouldn't be together, but they basically lie to the entire nation and they're like, we're a really big happy family, we love each other, whatever. They are doing this book tour for their book about how to keep a healthy marriage when the husband is cheating on his wife and the wife basically like controls everything the husband does. So these people should definitely not be selling books on that because they're not, you know, probably giving good advice. However, this book really isn't about the two of them. It's about their assistants who work for them, Carrie and James, I want to say their names are. I should probably know their names because I'm like 85% done with this book and I don't hate it. There's this like weird looming incident that's introduced in the first chapter where Carrie and James are talking to the police about some sort of incident that happened with the main couple. So I don't really know what's going on with all that. I think it's kind of a weird thing to put into a romance book, but honestly, I find this book more interesting than a lot of other Christina Laurens because the plot is beyond the romance. Like, I like that there's this other couple. I like that the assistants are kind of having to micromanage them and like what issues come up with them fighting, but like also lying to everyone's faces on television. So I don't hate it. I'm not thinking this is gonna be like the best book I have ever read, but so far out of all the Christina Lauren books, it's like not the worst, which I feel like is a win. So I might end up giving one more of their books a shot after this one. I was told to read Roomies on my last video, so I might read that one. I don't really have many thoughts on this one. I think it's gonna be 3 stars. I think it's gonna be fine. Maybe like 3.5, maybe 4. Depends on this ending. I want to know about this incident that happened with the couple because that's like not revealed until probably the very end, so stay tuned for all the tea on that, I guess. But we're gonna finish that book. I'm going to Universal today. We're about to leave. Okay, bye. Hi friends. Oh god, where did my voice go? Let's retry that finger gun scenario. Hi friends. I have to get ready for work. I've got about 25 minutes, but I have some reading updates for you, so I'm going to chaotically make my bed while I try to talk to you about them. Okay, so the first book that I want to tell y'all about is The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren because I actually finished that book and I actually enjoyed it. I think I liked it more than Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. However, I gave Josh and Hazel's, I think, a 3.5 stars, so I might lower that one to a 3 and then give The Honey Don't List a 3.5 because I think I liked it more, but it definitely wasn't a 4-star book. I feel like I've talked about the plot of that book enough, so I'm not going to get into that again for your sake and for mine. But I think overall my thoughts are the romance wasn't anything super life-changing, but the plot was interesting enough and I didn't have any glaring issues or problems with it, so it was a solid book. I think because I didn't hate it, I will give another Christina Lauren book a chance. But yeah, I kind of feel like about it, but like I didn't feel bad about it and that was the goal. So Christina Lauren, you live to see another day on my TBR shelf. I didn't think this whole making my bed thing while talking to you through because I am severely out of shape and like I am kind of losing my breath running around my room trying to explain everything to you. I need to go to the gym, which is a side tangent. However, the next book that I need to talk to you about, it was also on my August TBR, and that is Late to the Party. Now, I explained what this book was about in my TBR video, but I haven't talked about it in this video yet, so let me catch you up. Late to the Party is about a young girl. Oh shoot, I forgot her name. I don't remember her name, but she's struggling with her sexuality, and her friends invite her to go to this party one night because they want to kind of break the mold and try new things because they've never been kissed before, any of them, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go to this party, we're gonna kiss someone, and we're gonna become real teenagers. That doesn't end up happening at this party. What happens is her two friends go on without her, and they're like, hey, we got really drunk, can you come pick us up? And she's like, yeah, I'll be a good friend, I'll come pick you up. And at this party, before she gets there, she sees one of the guys at the party kissing another boy, and from that she gets kind of taken under that guy's wing and becomes his friend. I don't really have many thoughts on it. It's a YA contemporary, and I don't read a lot of those, but I feel like it definitely has a lot of depth and emotion to it, and I really like our main character, even though I can't remember her name for the life of me. So far so good. I think it's gonna have really good conversations about sexuality and identity and finding out who you really are, and just a really good coming of age story. I like it, Picasso. I'm out of breath now. My head's like spinning, so I don't have any more thoughts on it. I'll keep reading it. I think I'm about 1/3 into it, maybe a little bit more, so we'll see if I have any more thoughts in a bit. Hi friends, I finished a book, so it's time to chat with you about it. I finished Late to the Party, and guys, I finally remembered the main character's name. It is Cody, in case you were wondering. I'm so sorry that I forgot to inform you of her name. I really don't know why I couldn't remember in the last clip, and I just didn't have the time to look it up. You remember the plot synopsis because Past Mayor talked to you about it literally a minute ago. I want to give you my final thoughts on this book, and to be honest, I'm not really sure what I'm going to rate this. I think if I were to rate this for my personal enjoyment of the story, I would give it a 3-star rating. However, this is from a genre I typically don't read from. It's from YA contemporary. So if I'm looking at it through a lens of I was 17 years old and I was reading this book, I think it would have had more of an impact on me, so I probably would give it more of like a 4-star rating. I don't think it's fair of me to rate the book lower than how I would have perceived it at the age that it's intended for, because my main issue with this book was a lot of the characters acted very immature. I didn't really enjoy how the main character Cody treated her friends, and I did not enjoy how her friends treated her. But I also have to recognize that this book takes place in high school. There's a lot more petty drama, and you know, people don't talk about their feelings as openly as they might when they're in their adulthood. So I have to kind of recognize why these characters acted how they did, and even though that made me enjoy the story a little bit less, I feel like it was fairly realistic for teenagers to act how they acted. So I don't know if I'm going to rate this book. I think if you're into YA contemporary and you are of a younger age, like anywhere from 14 to 19, like you're either just starting college or you're just entering high school, I think this book is wonderful. It talks about identity and finding yourself, and it has a lot of good discussions about that. And it also just talks a lot about friendship and how to be a good friend to someone. And I thought it had so many important conversations, and I thought that the story was very believable. But like I said, I just didn't really enjoy how some of the characters treated each other because it was in this high school setting. So I'm getting a little old, so I feel like YA contemporary might not be the genre for me anymore, and I've recognized that. I haven't read a lot of YA contemporary recently, but I wanted to give this one a shot, and I'm certainly glad I did. I thought it was really well written, but overall, it's not going to be a book that I carry with me for the rest of my life. I think it's a book that I'll definitely recommend to people who are looking for LGBT romances or young adult contemporaries, coming of age stories. I think this one is a perfect recommendation. It just isn't meant for someone of my age, and that's okay. No rating on it, but like 4 stars, but also like I didn't feel like it was a 4-star read for me, but like it deserves 4 stars, so like maybe a 3.5. We don't really need to focus on numbers. Just know I'm recommending it to you if you are the audience for it. As far as for the next book that I'm going to be reading, I have no clue. I have The Friend Zone checked out from the library, but it's due in 3 days, and I think I am how far into it am I? Okay, I'm further into it than I thought. I'm 20% into The Friend Zone, but it's due back to the library really soon, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a dent in that before it's due. So I either will focus on this or I'll start reading an audiobook. I have Well Met checked out from the library, so both of those are adult romances, new adult romance. Somewhere around that age demographic. I'm gonna read one more book for this vlog, so stay tuned for what that is, and whichever book I pick up, I will tell you the synopsis for, so you also know what's going on. Hi folks, I've got approximately 20 things I need to do in 20 minutes because I have to leave for work soon. I'm not in my work clothes, I have wet hair, and I have a massive pile of laundry in front of me, so you know, I feel like now's as good of a time as ever to vlog because I started another book. How exciting is that? I started Well Met, which is a romance novel. I've very much been on a romance kick and an audiobook kick, and I feel like those two just work together in perfect harmony. So I decided to start that one instead of read the book that I had on my phone because it's just easier for me right now to listen to books than to pick them up with my eyeballs. Well Met, what's it about? It is about this woman named Emily who moves to her sister's small town after she's in a car accident to help be her caretaker as well as her niece's caretaker, just so it's easier for the recovery process. And while she's in this small town, her niece is like, hey, I really want to join this Renaissance festival. They do it as a fundraiser every summer in this small town, and turns out you need a chaperone to be able to participate. So that's what Emily kind of gets roped up into doing, and while she's working at this festival and volunteering, she meets this guy named Simon who from the very beginning is just very rude to her, very standoffish. He doesn't really want anything to do with her, or at least that's what she thinks, of course. He's an English teacher. She had an English degree, but then she dropped out of college for other reasons, and so she just thinks that this man doesn't like her. And what I like about this book so far is that at the beginning I couldn't really tell who the love interest was gonna be. There was another prospect, and so there's Simon and then there's Mitch. Mitch is kind of like this guy that everyone would seem to fall for. He's very flirtatious, very good looking, and he looks good in a kilt is basically his pitch. So I thought, you know, maybe there'll be feelings for Mitch, or maybe it'll be Simon, but pretty quickly on you kind of get a better feel for who the love interest is. But I just liked that kind of addition to it. I thought it added a little bit more pizzazz, I guess is the word I'll use. But I really enjoyed that part. I'm about 2/3 into it, so the romance is happening at this point. We just got to a pretty big part where Emily and the love interest finally got together, and it was a super sweet moment, and I'm really enjoying this book, honestly. My only thing so far is that I feel like it's a little long. It's a pretty decently long audiobook, at least compared to the books that I've been reading lately. I think it's like 10 hours, and every other book I've read lately is like 6 or 7, so I'm just like, this is a big time commitment. Beyond that, like, it's feeling really well paced. I like the elements of the Renaissance fair. I think it's super interesting, and I'm just really excited to see how this book ends. So I'll let you know when I finish it, and then we'll wrap up this reading vlog. Thanks for watching me fold my laundry. I still have a lot to do. Howdy folks. Hello, I need to hold this straight. I once again am crunched for time before work, but I need to tell you about a book that I read. This whole time management thing is not going well, which is very odd for me because it used to be one of my strong suits, but I don't really have a plan with this channel. I just know that I want to talk to y'all, so I'm really trying to make that a priority, and that means that feeding myself is not a priority, or at least like feeding myself nutritious foods. I'm probably just gonna make like a sandwich or pasta for my lunch tonight at work, but that's beside the point. We'll get balance and eventually, you know. I need to wrap up this vlog because I finished my last book for it. I ended up picking up Well Met, like I talked about in the last clip, and I really enjoyed this. I think this was actually my favorite book from this entire reading vlog. I gave this one 4 stars and I really enjoyed it. Honestly, I don't have many more thoughts on it from the last clip except that I thought it was a tad bit too long and the ending felt a little bit rushed, and it also had like the happily ever after at the end that I'm not really a big fan of in books. I'm not gonna knock it for it because it's a romance, but beyond that, like, it just felt too soon for the characters to have said the I love you words to each other. And like, I get it, like when you're in a relationship you really love this person, but like 2 weeks of dating felt a little bit sudden for me. I'm just gonna say it. I would recommend this book. I really liked it. I thought it was really fun to be in this Renaissance fair kind of environment, and I think I'm definitely going to pick up the second book in the series even though I have no idea what it's about. I just really enjoyed the first one so much that I'm gonna give the next one a try. Anyways, that is all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big like. Subscribe to my channel if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye y'all. Have a wonderful day. Bye.